Our NFL doubleheader continues from Giant Stadium as the Oakland Raiders meet the New York Giants. The pressure on the Giants' offensive line today. They have to block well to run the football and protect Kerry Collins if they hope to defeat the visiting Raiders.
Subway presents Fresh Starts, a special tribute to those teams and players determined to beat the odds. Subway, eat fresh. The Falcons are 5-4 after cornerback Ashley Ambrose intercepted 2 Brett Favre passes, including a final attempt with just over a minute left in a 23-20 win over the Packers. Cleveland completed a season sweep of the Ravens in Week 10 as cornerback Anthony Henry had 3 of the Browns' 4 interceptions in a 27-17 victory.
Welcome back to Giant Stadium on a gray Thanksgiving Sunday that promises rain as we continue this afternoon. A temperature right now of 66 degrees, and Jim Fossil trying to get his New York Giants turned around. Right now they sit at 5-5, while John Gruden hopes to continue to move his Oakland Raiders 7-2, the best record in the AFC. The Raiders have won the toss, and they will receive. Greg Gumbel, Phil Simms, Armin Katayan. Welcome to Giant Stadium, everyone. It's a big game, especially for the New York Giants. Morton Anderson set to kick it away. Terry Kirby, number 42, is the deep man for the Raiders. And we are underway at Giant Stadium. Kirby from the 6. 20. Tripped up at the 25 and forward to about the 29-yard line. Ralph Brown makes the stop after a 23-yard return. And here is Rich Gannon, starting Pro Bowl quarterback of a season ago, and the #1 rated quarterback in the National Football League coming into the action today.
Greg, Rich Gannon just does a terrific job with this offense. One of the reasons why the Raiders can put in over 100 plays a week and send out 5 receivers on all pass patterns is because Rich Gannon can make quick decisions and find the open man.
On first down, to give us to Charlie Garner, bounces outside and room to run. Midfield, 40, bumped out of bounds inside the 35-yard line of the New York Giants.
The Giants come with pressure on the very first play of the game, trying to set a tempo for their football team. Look at the blitz up inside. Nobody, Brandon Short, who has the left side of the defense, supposed to stay outside, gets caught inside. Garner sees no room inside, jumps out, and makes a big run.
We heard nothing but superlatives from the Giants yesterday about Charlie Garner and his ability to make things happen on the football field.
He can catch the football out of the backfield, and he runs very hard. Michael Strahan said that.
From the 33-yard line. Garner again. And this time, Garner barely gets a yard. It'll be 2nd and 9.
The Raiders' offensive line has been battling injuries this year, but they continue to do a good job in the run game and protecting Rich Gannon.
In the backfield with Garner is John Ritchie. Great wide receivers in Jerry Rice and Tim Brown, and Roland Williams is the tight end. Garner with a breather on the sideline. Terry Kirby is in the backfield on 2nd and 9. Quick drop by Gannon, throws this side to Brown, and that's complete inside the 30-yard line. The New York Giant defense up front. Strahan leading the NFL in sacks with 15. Lance Legree starts in place of injured Keith Hamilton.
The linebackers for the Giants, Barrow and Armstead, both having outstanding years.
In the secondary, Will Allen and Jason Sehorn on the corners, Williams and Garnes at safety. Randy Jordan and John Ritchie in the backfield. Gannon with time runs it right up the middle, slides down at the 23-yard line, and that's enough for a first down. The catch for Tim Brown was number 900 of his great career. An 8-time Pro Bowler, the 1987 Heisman Trophy winner out of Notre Dame.
Well, that time, Greg, going back to the last play, the Raiders sent all the receivers towards the sideline. And the Giants, so determined to cover Tim Brown, Jerry Rice, they leave the middle open. And Rich Gannon sees it and goes for a first down.
The give is to Garner, and Garner ahead to the 20-yard line. A gain of 3, and it'll be 2nd and 7.
You know, you got so many options. You're the Giants. You're playing defense against this Raider offense. What do? You cover Tim Brown. You cover Jerry Rice. Oh, no. We got to really bulk it up inside to stop the running game by the Raiders. And then you have a quarterback who makes good decisions and is mobile. Very hard to stop the Raiders offense.
2nd and 8. Now Garner and Ritchie split in the backfield. Gannon throws. That's complete inside the 10, inside the 5 to Jerry Rice. Make it 235 straight games with a reception for Jerry Rice.
Well, I got a chance to talk to John Fox, Greg, the defensive coordinator for the Giants, and it's just, it really does put you in a quandary. The Giants try to come out and be aggressive. They get burned on the first play. Generally, when you play the Raiders offense, you just got to sit back, try to contain them, and hope that they can't make that 12, 13-play drive to go down and score.
First and goal. Garner. And Garner plows to about the 1.
Wow, that's a good description of that run, isn't it? I mean, that's like a suicide attempt. Just plowed up in there and see if you can get a yard or two. And the Raider backs, we've done a few Raider games this year, Greg, and the one thing we know, when they get the football, no matter who's running the football, they stick it up in there hard. Their goal is to hopefully gain 2 or 3 yards. They consider that a successful run.
Oh, Rich Gannon says if you can be good on 1st and 2nd down, then you put the defensive coordinator in a bind because they can't do what they normally want to do. Ritchie and Zach Crockett, the give is to Crockett straight ahead and into the end zone for the touchdown.
Well, the Raiders, Adam Truitt center, Mo Collins, number 79, starting today at right guard. They just kind of overpower, along with John Ritchie at fullback, overpower the Giants and get into the end zone.
The Charlie Garner 38-yard run set the tone for that drive by the Raiders, and Sebastian Janikowski on for the extra point. And he is a perfect 29 for 29 with points after touchdown this season. 7-0 Oakland Raiders over the New York Giants. 10:20 to go in the first quarter, and here's the look at the touchdown.
Such a hard spot to score from in the NFL nowadays, inside the 2-yard line, but it tells you a lot about the Raiders that they can just line it up and run it in there. And John Ritchie, you know it's going to be a physical game. First drive already bleeding. Good lead block, good block by Adam Truitt center.
There's John Ritchie, and yeah, that
it's bleeding.
John Ritchie has that little bit of a problem where his helmet cuts right into his forehead, and you know what? He says as soon as he gets hit, it opens up, and it's not going to heal till after the season's over.
Yeah, it's not going to heal, but he says I'm used to the pain too. So it happens every single game. Nothing he can do about it. You're right, Greg. It'll heal up when the season's over.
Oakland Raiders with 51 rushing yards on that drive.
Well, they did it all. Running the football, quarterback scrambled, throwing the football, and then they really used the power game down inside to score with the running play.
Janikowski to kick. Ron Dixon and Omar Stoutmeyer are deep, and one of the things Jim Fossil looking for is good effort on kick returns today by Ron Dixon. This, however, is Stoutmeyer. Hit him in the foot, picks it up at the 9. And it is not going to reach the 15-yard line. So onto the field comes Kerry Collins, and we talked about it before this day began, having fumble problems. Second in the National Football League with 14 of them as you look at his night at Minnesota on Monday.
He has fumbled, Greg, but I tell you what, you'll see. I don't know what will happen today, but when you look at the Giant films, what they've done the past few weeks, Kerry Collins deals with a lot of pressure, a lot of people around his feet, and he gets hit way too often when he's not expecting it.
Collins has been sacked 27 times this season. We'll start it off with Tiki Barber, gets the roll on the right side and out to the 20-yard line. Tripped up by Charles Woodson coming off the corner.
Well, the Giants' offensive line, they have struggled protecting the quarterback today. They've got to open some holes up for the running game.
In the backfield with Barber, Greg Camella, Amani Toomer, and Ike Hilliard, the wide receivers, and Howard Cross, the veteran tight end. Here's Sean Payton, the man who calls the plays on offense for the Giants.
Well, I told you the Giants want to come out, and they are determined to run the football against this Raider defense. The Raiders giving up 4.5 yards per rushing attempt so far this season.
Ron Dane is in the backfield, and he gets the handoff. And goes for about 2 on the play. The Oakland defense. Upshaw, Russell, Grady Jackson, and Tony Bryant.
The linebackers for the Raiders, Greg Biekert, he's the signal caller, and he's playing very well, too, this year.
Familiar corners in Woodson and Eric Allen. Charles Woodson playing with a painful turf toe injury. Dorsett and Pope are the safeties. There is Chuck Bresnahan, the defensive coordinator for the Raiders. 3rd and 2. Collins blitzed. Tosses it over the middle, and it's almost intercepted. Darrell Russell almost picked it off, and we go to New York for our first update with Jim Nance. Jim.
All right, thank you, Greg. The Buffalo Bills are imploding. They went up 27-17, but Arians missed the point after. Mare tied it with 1:10 to go from 39 yards. Then the Bills fumbled on the kick. The Dolphins have the ball at the Bills' 30 with 55 seconds to play. Let's go back to Greg and Phil.
All right, Jim. On the kick is Rodney Williams with a cast on his right wrist. Suffered a fracture the first week in November. Ball bounces and takes a hop in favor of the Raiders. It's down at the 45-yard line by Dhani Jones. 31-yard punt by Rodney Williams, and that's not one of his better efforts at all.
You know, go back to the last play by the Giants, Greg. Again, Kerry Collins, the Giants got what they wanted. 3rd and short, so they think they can protect the quarterback in those situations. They don't pick up the blitz, and they're fortunate it wasn't an interception.
So while the offense gathers to talk about it on the far sideline, the Raider offense takes the field again in the line of scrimmage. Good field position for Oakland, the 45-yard line. That tells you a little bit about how Rich Gannon distributes the football.
Well, I've said to you before, John Gruden says, we don't have one offense. We have like 5 different ones. A Tim Brown offense, a Rich Gannon offense, one for Jerry Rice now.
Gannon. With time, up the seam, incomplete. Tim Brown was the intended receiver. 2nd and 10.
You know, that's not something you see a lot of from the Raiders. Their passing game is so east-west. They cross receivers, they throw to the sideline short, and then when they go up the field vertically, it's, well, doesn't even look right.
You know, and Rich Gannon telling us as the season has progressed, the Raiders have added more offensive plays, and he says it's easier to do when you have veterans like Tim Brown and Jerry Rice.
Yeah, that's right. And a veteran quarterback and a coach that likes to put a lot of plays in.
Wheatley. And Wheatley for about 4 to the 49, and let's check in once again with Jim Nance. Jim.
All right, just seconds after that last update, the Dolphins go back to Chris Chambers, his 2nd touchdown of the quarter, 48 seconds to play at Orchard Park, and the Dolphins have come back from 10 down in the last 5 minutes to take the lead. Let's go back to Greg and Phil.
Boy, what an interesting football game with all the talk about Jay Fiedler's job being on the line in Miami. Dolphins slow starters today. Randy Jordan in the backfield, 3rd and 6. Gannon with all kinds of time, and there's the pass across the middle, and Jerry Porter can't hold on. Will Patterson, the 3rd-round draft pick rookie out of Western Illinois, was right with it.
Yeah, Peterson going across the middle. You can see Rich Gannon, nice throw, but it really a terrific play, breaking it up from Jerry Porter.
So here is Shane Leckler, the leading punter in the NFL. He'll kick it away to Tiki Barber. Leckler averaging 47.3 yards a kick. And this one sails out of bounds, so neither of these very good punters gets off a very good first effort here in the first quarter. Raiders lead. Back at Giant Stadium, Greg Gumbel along with the blonde person, and the New York Giants find themselves already in a hole, down 7-0. And as we said, Phil, they're very much in the same situation the Denver Broncos were on Thanksgiving Day. They've got to win.
Yeah, do or die. You always have to be afraid of teams that are in desperate situations, especially when they're a good team like the New York Giants.
The give is to Tiki Barber, cuts it back inside of the block, and now goes outside and room to run. To midfield, runs over a potential tackler, and is inside the 45-yard line. 36 yards when all is said and done.
Well, a lot of this just has to do with Tiki Barber. Second effort, and look at some of the Giant offensive players just staying with their blocks. Dusty Ziegler does a good job. Lomas Brown stayed with his block forever, and it allows Tiki Barber to get outside and make a big run.
He ran over Charles Woodson, and Marquez Pope came over and finally made the stop.
And this is one of the reasons why you want to have patience, run the football against the Raiders. Sometimes when you get past the defensive line, you can make these big runs.
Coming this way now, Tiki Barber cutting it back again. Inside the 40 to the 36-yard line. Let's go down to Armin Katane. Armin.
Thanks, Greg. You know, concerned his team had kind of fallen into a funk and was playing way too tight. Jim Fossil did some unexpected things this week, both in practices and games. The latest surprise came last night when he stood up before his team at the team meeting and said, okay, you know where the stadium is, you know what time the game is. He said, yep, all right, go out and have some fun. He said, oh yeah, by the way, if you win tomorrow, I'm going to give you 5 days off next week during the bye week. Just the kind of incentive this team needed. Greg, back to you.
All right, Armin, thank you. Ron Dane into the game is the deep man in the I formation, takes the handoff, takes it off the left side, and appears to have enough for a first down.
Well, you know, if you want to really get to the players' emotions, tell them you're going to get 5 days off, especially this late in the season when you're tired, you're beat up, and of course these players, they know how big this game is to them.
Well, you know, I think the first instinct of any fan would be, can an NFL team afford to take 5 days off?
Well, you know, you worry about that after you win this game if you get to that situation. But the Giants, as Jim Fossil said, we're about running the football. We have not done it well this year, and they want to get it done today.
Kerry Collins has his man incomplete. Juravicius had it, and it went right through his hands inside the 10-yard line.
Well, Joe Juravicius last week dropped a big pass against the Minnesota Vikings on Monday night, stopped the scoring drive. Nice move. Gets Marquez Pope outside, goes up in the inside. Easy catch for an NFL receiver. Perfect throw by Kerry Collins. And that is a problem for the Giants. They get down here near the goal line. You're looking for the big play to score from the 32. You get the perfect defense, a good route, and you drop the pass.
The pitch for Barber. Blocking around the right side and forward to about the 30, just inside the 30-yard line. Marquez Pope comes to make the stop.
And, you know, if you're a Raider fan, too, you think, well, we got a team. This team can win a lot of games. We can go to the playoffs and maybe even get to the Super Bowl. You see Chuck Bresnahan, the defensive coordinator. The big concern is, can they get the defense back in order and stop the opposing team's running games? We saw what happened a couple weeks ago. Sean Alexander at Seattle, and John Gruden very concerned about it and hoping they can find some answers today.
A 38-yard run for Charlie Garner set the tone for the Raiders. Tiki Barber with a 36-yarder has the Giants in position, and penalty markers fly and whistles blow. Our referee today is Bill Carollo.
Prior to the snap, false start, 77, offense, 5-yard penalty, remains third down.
Luke Pettigrew, the right tackle, made the move. They committed a ton of penalties at Minnesota last week.
Well, the receivers for the Vikings caused a lot of it, and then again, not to make excuses, but the crowd noise in the dome in Minnesota on Monday night, you're going to have penalties in those situations, especially on offense, and the Giants had quite a few.
Toomer and Hilliard up top, Juravicius at the bottom of the screen. Collins throws far side of the field. Camella out of the backfield and lost the football out of bounds. Did he have control? He did, and the line of scrimmage will be the 29-yard line. That'll be short of a first down, and onto the field will come the field goal unit.
Well, when you get in situations like this, a quarterback's really, You got to know what's expected of you. Kerry Collins knew, don't take a sack, pick up some yards, and give us a chance to kick a field goal.
In his 20th season, Morton Anderson has a chance to tie George Blanda for #2 scoring all time with this field goal. This is a 47-yard attempt. It looks good. #2 all-time, 2002 career points for Morton Anderson. 7-3 Raiders.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 36. Beechwood aged Budweiser, with a crisp, clean, refreshing taste known only to the king of beers. And by Chevy Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
Few Raider faithful on hand here at Giant Stadium. Of course, the Raiders have their share of fans wherever they play in the National Football League.
You know, they do, Greg. No matter where they go, we see that group of fans that likes to
dress up
a little.
I like Terry Kirby deep.
I like to dress up on Sundays, just not quite like that.
Kirby will field this one at the 8. 25, 35, and out to about the 37 or 38-yard line. Rich Gannon gets ready to come back on the field, and we take a timeout. 7-3 Oakland. Welcome back, everyone, and we welcome those of you who watch the Miami Dolphins come from behind to beat Buffalo by a score of 34-27. Greg Gumbel, Phil Simms, Armin Katayan here at Giant Stadium, where the Raiders lead the Giants by a score of 7-3. 3:21 to play here in the first quarter. Charlie Garner and John Ritchie shift into position behind Gannon. Garner, not much. Charlie Garner had a 38-yard run that set up this touchdown by Zach Crockett on the Raiders' first drive. The Giants came back on Morton Anderson's 469th career field goal. He is now tied with 2,001 points with George Blanda for #2 scoring all time as he trails Gary Anderson of the Vikings. Something unusual. The Raiders lost a yard on a running play. 2nd and 11. Gannon throws far side. That's complete. Tim Brown to the 40-yard line. A pickup of 4 on the play, and it'll be 3rd and 7.
Anytime you play the New York Giants, you've got to block Michael Strahan first. But Tim Brown, he draws a lot of focus in the coverage. There's Michael Strahan. Lincoln Kennedy, he's big enough for 2 people.
15 sacks, leading the NFL. John Gruden says, oh yeah, we'll give our people some help on him. Gannon throws this side. Jerry Rice has it midfield and out of bounds close to the 45-yard line of the Giants. 14-yard pickup on the play.
Well, Will Peterson, number 24, actually went and was trying to make an interception, misses it. Jerry Rice still able to make the catch, even though Will Peterson's right in front of him. Looks like everybody's covered down the field. And Peterson just takes a bad angle, thinking that he has a chance to catch the pass.
What a game Jerry Rice had last week against San Diego. 8 catches for 131 yards and 3 touchdowns. Gannon throws far side. Tim Brown to the 40-yard line of the Giants.
You know, getting ready for this game, Greg, John Gruden, he walked into us, you know, yesterday afternoon. What did he say? Man, this Giant team, this defense, the defense is very good. It has talent at all 3 levels, at defensive line, linebacker, and defensive back. But what makes it and really gives it a chance to be more than just good is they do so many things on defense. A lot of different styles. They blitz. They got a lot of zones. So it makes it hard for people to prepare for what the Giants are going to do in a particular day.
Garner inside the 40. Yeah, he said the Giants are a team that has so much defense, it's tough to prepare for all of it. Plus, he makes a good point. They have a nucleus that's been together for a number of years.
With the same coach, John Fox, the defensive coordinator, and Jesse Armstead, Jason Sehorn, Michael Strahan. All these guys have been together for quite a few years. So just like a veteran offense, they can keep content. They just keep putting in different styles of defense, and it just makes it hard to get ready for them.
3rd and 2. Gannon will throw for it. Pulls it down. He's going to run. Has the first down. Brought down at the 33-yard line. It's a first down for the Raiders. Mike Barrow made the stop after a 5-yard gain.
I think I've seen Rich Gannon run more today already in those two than I have in most games. He does not like to run. Looks to move, to throw the pass.
As the first quarter winds down, the Oakland Raiders 3 out of 4 on 3rd down already today. We've played 1 quarter at Giant Stadium. Raiders lead it by a score of 7-3. We're coming back to the Meadowlands.
By the Intel Pentium 4 processor, the center of your digital world. And by Pontiac. What would you do with some Pontiac excitement?
Back for the start of the second quarter, there is a look at Michael Strahan, number 92. 3 Pro Bowls in his career, but not last season. We're talking with Michael about what's the difference, and maybe I'm a little bit smarter football player than I used to be. Couldn't get enough praise from John Gruden, who said he is exceptional and goes all out on every play. Gannon changing things up at the line. He gives now to Garner. Garner bouncing outside. Cuts it back inside now and comes up short of the 25-yard line. Sehorn and Sean Williams with the stop, and we'll take the opportunity to remind you can wear what the players and coaches wear. Shop for authentic apparel and merchandise for the holidays at NFL.com or AOL keyword NFL.com.
So Charlie Garner, he has about as much motion going as any running back I've ever seen. He fakes so much, I think he fakes himself out, but he, not only is he quick and goes side to side, he is a tough guy that will try to run you over when he gets that opportunity.
Tyrone Wheatley now inside the 25 to the 22-yard line. And Wheatley, a former New York Giant, now in his 4th season with the Oakland Raiders.
Yeah, you know what? Tyrone Wheatley, I know when he comes back here, he wants to play well. He hasn't played the last few weeks because of injury. But when he was here with the Giants, when I watch him now with the Raiders and think back to how the Giants used to use him in past years, the Raiders use him the right way. He's a big back. He needs to be way behind the quarterback in the I formation, and he needs to run straight ahead, and he does it very well for the Raiders.
Now Gardner and Randy Jordan in the backfield. That's Jordan in motion. The pitch is to Garner. Spins to about the 22-yard line.
Let's just take a look at Charlie Garner. You can be Sean Williams, the safety for the Giants, and see if you can bring him down. A little shake. Oh, let me give you a shake and a spin. Pretty good.
You know, we've talked about the quality running backs that they have in Wheatley and Garner and Randy Jordan and Zach Crockett and Terry Kirby. And Michael Strahan yesterday, he says, they have so many good running backs. How do they fit them all under the salary cap?
You know what? Made me start thinking, yeah, how do the Raiders get so many stars and so many running backs when it's hard to have 2? They got like 4 or 5 of them.
Gannon with the screen. Garner almost tripped, keeps his feet to the 10, to the 5, touchdown.
Frank Middleton, the right guard, Adam True, the center, and the perfect play call by the Oakland Raiders. They're not a big screen team, so it will catch you off guard. But look at number 73, Frank Middleton. Adam True got a good block to the inside. John Ritchie down the field. Charlie Garner untouched for the touchdown.
Charlie Garner's 2nd rushing touchdown of the season. I'm sorry, reception. First pass reception. And the extra point attempt by Janikowski is good. 12:52 to play in the first half. It's a 14-3 Raider lead.
A day of celebration. The great tradition of the Army-Navy game. The season premiere of NCAA basketball and a battle for the SEC East title. Next Saturday on CBS.
Offensive lineman, and they make screens go. Watch Adam True, the center, comes out and blocks Michael Barrow, who has Charlie Garner in the passing game. Gets him to the ground. Then Frank Middleton, the guard, he's just trying to find somebody to hit.
With Charlie Garner's scamper, that's Rich Gannon's 16th touchdown pass of the season.
Well set up, good disguise by the Raiders, and offensive lineman in a screen game, you've got to go downfield, you've got to go to the ground, make the defenders jump over you. They did all those things.
Stoutmeyer and Dixon are deep. And this will be Dixon from the 1. 15, 20, penalty markers fly, and he is brought up short of the 25-yard line by Johnny Harris. It's going to be a hold on the Giants.
Who was I talking to one time? Well, get the call.
Holding 57 on the return team during the run back. 10-yard penalty, first down, timeout.
The rookie Clayton White, guilty of the receiver. We'll try to figure out who Phil was talking to when we come back. Well, Kerry Collins said that they are very committed to the run, and now that conviction will be even more put to the test now with the Giants down 14-3. Quick pass out here to the side, and across the 10 to the 13-yard line is Ike Hilliard.
I was going to say, Greg, you remember we were talking to a coach one time, I was going to make a point about special teams penalties. And I just think the players got to know through all the games they watch and all the times they get called that they can't hold into these certain things. And the coach said to us, they just don't realize. They think they're out in this open space and nobody can see them. But it's actually easier to spot the penalties in special teams than normal play because there is such separation with the players.
Here comes the blitz. Collins gets rid of it. Barber, 20-yard line, out of bounds, first down Giants.
Well, that is a nice play by Kerry Collins, but you know what? He is good at this kind of throw. Having pressure, because he's been under a lot of pressure all year long, but shows his talent going backwards, makes a perfect throw to Tiki Barber.
Well, with all of the pressure that has been on Kerry Collins to perform, as we watched the game film yesterday, he threw many a good ball against the Minnesota Vikings.
Terrific throws with guys all around him, not even able to move his feet, and still had the arm strength to whip it down the field.
Here's Barber. Barber bounces off one tackler, gets across the 25 before Rod Coleman makes the stop.
And, of course, that comes back to this, Greg, the offensive line of the Giants. You know, last year Jim Fossil went out, got a lot of new offensive linemen. Glenn Parker, Lomas Brown, there's Coach Jim McNally, the offensive line coach. But he went out there and got them. They did a terrific job last year. This year the performance has dropped off, and it's a big concern. And that's why they want to run the football today to keep the situations manageable so Kerry Collins is not always under pressure throwing the football.
On 2nd and 7 to give, up the middle to the 34 is Barber. Plus, a good positive for that line is they get Dusty Ziegler back today. He missed the second half at Minnesota with a concussion.
And there's a lot of other reasons why you'd want to run the football, not only for your team and for the health of your quarterback, but we can see what we've seen already to slow the Raiders' offense down somewhat, because it is good and it's very, as we've said many times, very diversified.
A 3rd and 4. Collins, quick drop, throws, sideline. Is it caught? It is complete to the 35-yard line and a first down to Amani Toomer. One of the things Kerry Collins says he likes to do, try to get Amani Toomer involved early on in the game.
Yeah, we hear that quite a bit from quarterbacks. In this day and age, you get so much publicity, so much is said about all quarterbacks and the wide receivers. They judge their games too often just on how many catches we're making, and we heard it from Rich Gannon too. You got to get the ball to your wide receivers early so they feel like they're part of the game plan and get their confidence up.
On first down now, Collins under pressure and tries to get rid of it. Barber, juggling catch to the 40 and out to the 42-yard line before Anthony Dorsett pulled him down. Fine play at both ends of that pass.
Rod Coleman, number 57, a defensive lineman for the Raiders. You know what? When you got a screenplay, Ron Stone just lets him go too quick. You got to give the quarterback a chance to fake and set up the screen, but nice catch by Tiki Barber. You know, Tiki Barber, he's the guy in this Giant offense, I think, that you just got to keep getting the football to. He's kind of a difference maker. He can make simple plays. He can turn them into big plays on offense.
Barber gets the football on 2nd and 3, has a first down, bounces outside, shoves off a tackler. That was Marquez Pope coming up trying to make the stop. 10 yards and a first down.
Well, Tiki Barber, not the biggest running back in the NFL, but with his speed, Charles Woodson comes up for the tackle high and just gets run over. See, Charles Woodson has a really bad turf toe. In other words, the big toe of his right foot, it's sprained, does not practice the whole week, keeps his foot in a cast. First action he sees is out here during the game.
Ron Dane for a couple up the middle. And you were talking, Phil, that for someone who wouldn't know, they might think that if you get a chance to rest all week, then you'll come out here and you'll be fresh and you'll be sharp.
Well, I think John Gruden answered it for us. I said to him, Coach, how do you feel about Charles Woodson not practicing? And John Gruden, very, what do we want to say, a stickler for little things, has a real problem. It bothers him a lot that Woodson gets no snaps at all during the week, and you just got to rely on the fact that he's a tremendous athlete and he can adjust by coming out here during the games and finding a way to play.
Collins to throw on 2nd and 8, quick pass, and that's complete just inside the 40-yard line to Ike Hilliard. That'll be about a yard or so short of a first down.
You know, when you watch games on TV, you always put these stats up. Quarterback under pressure, he's sacked, he's hit. But we're not going to do that today with Kerry Collins. We're going to put a stat up how many times he throws without being under pressure. Because so far, almost every throw today, he is going backwards to try to get rid of the football. And that was, again, full speed going back, whips it out there, and throws the ball accurately on the move.
And now on 3rd and 1. Barber, the lone back behind Collins. He'll get the football. He'll get the first down to about the 36. So the Giants say they want to stick with the run, and they're doing their fair share of it.
They are. You know what? When you can run the football, that's what the game is about. It's a physical game, and when you can run it and show the other team that you have physical dominance on them, that leads to so many other things, the confidence of your team. But of course, it means you should protect the quarterback better, and it should help play action passes.
6.9 yards an attempt. Tiki Barber, he carries 69 yards. Collins to throw. Inside the 25, there's a marker down in the backfield. Amani Toomer made the catch. And it's going to be a holding call against the Giants.
I see Lomas Brown in the backfield with Reagan Upshaw, number 91.
Holding, 76, offense, 10-yard penalty, replay, first down.
Lomas Brown against Reagan Upshaw. Oh, nice move.
Reagan Upshaw tell us he saw Lomas Brown as the two teams exchanged positions on and off the practice field yesterday. And Lomas said to him, don't work me over too much tomorrow.
That's right. He said, what did Reagan say? He's trying to pull some of that veteran thing on me or whatever. And he goes, don't fall for it.
Collins on the draw out of Barber. And the Raiders don't fall for it. Darrell Russell makes the stop at about the 45.
Yeah, it's interesting to see Darrell Russell on the inside making the stop. Suspended for the first 4 games of the season. The Raiders hope, John Gruden hopes that Darrell Russell turns it on and just turns into be one of the most dominant defensive players in the league, because they know if he does that, then it's going to change the whole look of their defense. They have a chance to stop the run and get back to being a dominant defense.
Raiders feel that Darrell Russell played his best game against San Diego a week ago. Play fake this time. Collins on the move, trips and goes down on the other side of the midfield stripe. Reagan Upshaw makes the stop on top of him.
One thing this Raider front four can do, they're not real great at stopping the run, but they can rush the passer. And you get in situations where they know you're going to throw it, it is just who can get to the quarterback first. That time it's Reagan Upshaw again.
28th sack of the season of Kerry Collins.
Watch Reagan Upshaw. Oh, it's just good hustle, keeps working.
Collins with third and a bunch. Throws to the far side, and that's complete to Ron Dixon. And Dixon wrestled out of bounds short of the 40-yard line. It'll be 4th down.
Well, the Giants, Jim Fossil was concerned about the protection of his quarterback and concerned about his offensive line, and he told us he's not against making some changes in this game if he has to.
Here's Rodney Williams again with that cast on his right wrist. Handled the ball pretty well last week at Minnesota and handled it well on the first punt here today. Tim Brown is deep for Oakland. Brown, fair catch called for, made at the 10-yard line. 4:51 to play in the second quarter. Oakland with the ball and the lead. Coming up on the Nextel halftime report, Jim, Mike, Randy, Jerry, scores, highlights, the latest NFL news, all coming up on the Nextel halftime report. 4:51 to play in the first half. The Raiders take over at their own 10-yard line. The New York Giants down 14-3, were moving the football well until the holding penalty put them in a hole. And they'll start it off on the ground with Tyrone Wheatley. Let's check in with Armin.
Greg, you know, when you're 7-2, there's not a whole lot of turning points in your season, but the Raiders had one 2 weeks ago following a disappointing loss to Seattle. John Gruden telling us last night he had really hit the frustration wall over what he called the vigilante play of his defense. Guys going off on their own, trying and failing to make plays. He said if you're not disciplined in this league, you're going to get smoked. And if there is one difference with John Gruden and the Raiders, it's discipline. Back to you.
Okay, Armin, I thought you were going to say he hates to get smoked. Because he does. 2nd and 9. Going far side, complete to Garner. And Garner on the move again and appears to have a first down at the 21-yard line. Run out of bounds by Jason Sehorn. And Phil, you were talking about it during the timeout. What an impact free agent Charlie Garner has been for the Oakland Raiders.
Name me one in the league that's had a better impact on the football team than Charlie Garner has.
Quick feet, good receiver.
I think that gets lost sometimes. You know, the Raiders, they lose Napoleon Kaufman, he retires. Charlie Garner comes in, runs the football, we've seen that. But Rich Gannon says he hasn't been around a running back who is better in the passing game than Charlie Garner.
Gannon pulls it down and now on the move. Throws to the sideline. Incomplete. Intended for Jerry Porter. The official says no.
It was awfully close. Again, Gannon getting out of the pocket, getting extra time to throw the football. Perfect throw. Oh. And he was in. I thought he had control of the football. Knee on the ground.
Garner again to the 25. You know, watching Gannon scramble that last time reminds us, Michael Strahan says a couple of things about Gannon. He takes good angles to avoid the rush, and also when he scrambles, you know that he's not looking to run first. He's still looking to throw the football before he runs.
Yeah, he is. Rich Gannon, I think, the most mobile quarterback in the league when it comes to moving around in the pocket, finding lanes to throw the football down the field. Now, the Giants, I talked to them, and they were thinking of putting a spy so when Gannon moved, they could get in the passing lanes and stop him from running, but I have not seen that defense yet.
3rd and 6. Gannon needs the 31-yard line for a first down. Has time over the middle, wide open, Jerry Rice. 45, midfield, dragged down at the 40-yard line of the New York Giants by Jason Sehorn.
But what they do, Jerry Rice has one-on-one coverage with Jason Sehorn. Watch Jerry Rice come across the formation real fast. Usually you would go to the outside, but when he cuts back inside, it catches Jason Sehorn by surprise. And nobody in the middle of the field. Good design and terrific execution by Jerry Rice.
34 yards on the play. Rice, 3 receptions for 65 yards. Gannon throws, penalty marker flies, and that pass is complete to Tim Brown on the near side of the field.
Greg, while we're waiting on this flag, to go back to that Jerry Rice play.
It's going to be against Oakland.
On that Jerry Rice play, when a defensive back sees a receiver coming across the field, and he knows there's a couple of the receivers on his side, they're worried about getting picked.
Illegal formation. Number 72 on the right side of the line was uncovered. It's a 5-yard penalty. Replay first down. That's a 2-minute warning.
You heard it from Bill Carollo. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Raiders lead at 14-3, and we'll be right back.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Dodge. Olympus, the most realistic digital images yet. Olympus, nothing's impossible. And by Sun America, the retirement specialist.
Final 2 minutes of the first half. Michael Strahan has not recorded a sack yet. It's a 1st and 15 for the Raiders from the 46-yard line. Gannon pump fakes. Gonna go up the middle. Tim Brown is there. 15, 10, 5, touchdown. "46 yards.
The Raiders tried to run this exact same play. It's a slant go on this side. The safety will go over because Gannon looks, and look, the middle of the field is open.
Tim Brown with his 6th touchdown reception of the season.
See, Will Allen thought that the safety would be in the middle, but the safety went with the pump fake to the left side. That's why he was wide open.
Janikowski's kick is good, and the Raiders lead it 21-3. And John Gruden is a happy Raider coach right now. We remind you once again, the Nextel halftime report coming up. Jim, Mike, Randy, Jerry have scores, highlights, and the latest NFL news on the Nextel halftime report.
Now, if you heard me say the Raiders ran the exact same play last week. Rich Gannon made the fake, the pump fake. Tim Brown was open down the middle for an 80-yard touchdown, but Rich Gannon couldn't see over the defensive line. Today he could.
The rain has begun to fall. Here's Ron Dixon, 15-20. And just short of the 25-yard line, and now he's pushed forward just across. Rich Gannon has completed 203 passes this year. That touchdown pass, the first one longer than 40 yards.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the United States Postal Service. And by Miller Lite. Grab a Miller Lite. It's Miller time.
Watch the touchdown. Watch Sean Williams go out of the middle with the pump fake by Rich Gannon. Will Allen says, where's the safety? As John Gruden says, yes,
that's the way to do it. And John Fox says that's not the way we do it.
Well, he knows he had a safety in the middle, but not much Sean Williams can do. Rich Gannon made a terrific pump fake to his left. If you're a safety, you've got to honor that.
On first down, Raiders look to be offside. Penalty markers fly. Well, the deep pass is incomplete, intended for Amani Toomer, and he and Eric Allen got a little caught up down the field. Tony Bryant was the man who jumped for the Raiders.
Offside, 94, defense, 5-yard penalty. Replay first down.
It'll be 1st and 5. comes out of the shotgun. And it batted as it left his hand and it falls incomplete. And Darrell Russell was the man charging up the middle.
Well, I think the big thing for the Giants, 21-3. Your defense, you're going against an offense that's really clicking, and you know they have many more surprises and plays for you. Jim Fossil wants to run the football today. Might be a change of game plans coming out here in the second half.
Giants with a minute 31 on the clock and all their timeouts remaining. Collins throws far side. Tiki Barber out of bounds, but has enough for the first down at the 37-yard line. Phil, I just go back to that point where this game was pretty much still in the seesaw stage, and the Giants were moving the football, and then a costly holding penalty put them in the hole.
That's right. And that when your offensive line struggles, you go, oh, if they just wouldn't have the holding penalty. Well, they're struggling, so you know guys are getting by them. They're hitting the quarterback, so sooner or later you got to say, I can't let the guy hit the quarterback again, and you pull him down and you get the 10-yard penalty against you.
The rain is falling here at Giant Stadium. Collins eludes the rush. The pass is incomplete, and that's intended for Ike Hilliard.
This Raider defensive line is big and it is fast, and they can overpower you. Grady Jackson, when you had a good shot of him there a second ago from the profile, he's got a little weight carrying him in the front. But Darrell Russell, if he ever just turns it on and gets the hang of what he really wants to be as a football player, he's unblockable almost.
He gives to Barber. Barber out to about the 45-yard line. looking at Grady Jackson. What did it? Reagan Upshaw said the last thing you want out there is you don't want Grady to lay on you.
Yeah, he says when we're rushing the passer, you don't want Grady to hit you. He goes, you know, this Kerry Collins, Reagan Upshaw talking about Kerry Collins, he says, well, he takes a lot of hits.
And Kerry Collins sneaking for the first down there, and then they call a timeout. 55 seconds on the clock. Phil and I just talking here during the break. It appears Tiki Barber has come to play today.
Yeah, I say he's definitely got the quickness and the determination. You can just see it when he runs the football, when he catches it. And, you know, yeah, we do talk during the commercial sometimes. But the rain coming down, Greg, we asked Kerry Collins because we thought it might rain today during the game, and doesn't faze him at all. He grew up here in the Northeast and has played in a lot of rainy football games and still throws the football extremely well, even on days like this.
He is 7 of 10 throwing the ball today, but has nothing longer than 10 yards as far as completion. First and 10, 55 seconds left. The Giants have 2 timeouts. Over the middle, that's complete, and Barber is down at the 46-yard line. Derek Gibson, the Giants' first-round draft pick out of Florida State, makes a stop after a 5-yard gain. Clock continues to move. And now we get a timeout with 31 seconds remaining, and it's the Raiders who call timeout. Tonight on CBS, they couldn't stand each other until they realized they were perfect for each other. Oscar winner Tom Hanks, Meg Ryan star in the blockbuster comedy You've Got Mail, tonight on CBS. John Gruden looking on. 31 seconds to play. Each team with 2 timeouts remaining. 5 wide receivers for Collins. And here comes the blitz. The pass out this side, incomplete, intended for Barber.
Good adjustment by the Raiders. They saw 5 wide receivers, so they immediately go to a defense that allows the safety to blitz. It was Anthony Dorsett, nobody to pick him up, and Kerry Collins has to basically throw the football away.
So it's 3rd and 5. 28 seconds on the clock. Collins with time this side, and this time he throws it behind Ike Hilliard, his intended receiver. And on 4th down, the punting unit comes on. 62 yards passing total for Kerry Collins in the first half.
That last pass is the first time he's really been off target today when the receiver was open.
Tim Brown back at his own 10-yard line. Rodney Williams barely gets it away. And this one will bounce on the goal line and into the end zone for the touchback. So the Raiders will take over at their own 20-yard line, and Darrell Russell was hard charging on that punt.
Nice move up front by Darrell Russell. Oh, it went under him.
Oh, big Darrell coming up the middle.
You know, that's a tough chore. Jack Golden, the linebacker, being an offensive lineman, they put him in there in those situations because they can block and run down the field faster to make the tackle, but that is a tough chore, trying to block Darrell Russell.
So Gannon takes a knee. Time will run out on a first half that was great for the Raiders and not so good for the New York Giants. Let's go to Armin.
Coach, you said you really wanted to establish the run here, but considering the weather and the score, how big of adjustment in the second half?
Well, we're going to have to adjust because we can't. It's 21-3. They're moving the football on us and making plays. I can't sit there too long, but I still think that we can remove the ball on the ground and just get some completions and try to come back at them with some points.
All right, Coach. Thank you. Greg?
All right, Armin, our halftime score. The Raiders 21 and the Giants 3 coming up. Off to Jim Nance for the Nextel halftime report. Jim, Randy, and Jerry get you caught up on all the scores, highlights, and the latest NFL news. It comes your way after these messages from your local station.
CBS Sports presents the Nextel Direct Connect Halftime Report. Nextel, get right through.
Back at the Meadowlands, you look at our halftime score, the Raiders 21 and the New York Giants 3, and right from the opening kickoff, it has been Oakland Raiders football. Rich Gannon and Charlie Garner and Tim Brown. It all comes down to a 21-3 Raiders lead. Second half coming up after this word from your local station. Welcome back to the Meadowlands. Greg Gumbel along with Phil Simms. Something that's been missing for the New York Giants in the first half that usually isn't missing in their games is pressure from Michael Strahan on the quarterback, and as a result, Rich Gannon has had a very good first half throwing the football. Well,
Michael Strahan's going against Lincoln Kennedy, who is extremely big and very talented, a good pass protector. Rich Gannon, it's hard to put pressure on a quarterback like him who gets rid of the football quick and is mobile.
As we take a look at the stats, what does the Giant defense do in the second half?
Well, it's evident they're going to have to change what they're doing, I think. You go ahead and you try to play with your original game plan, Greg, early here in the third quarter, and as soon as you know that the game is really in jeopardy, you change that game plan. You have to start blitzing Rich Gannon and try to make the Oakland Raiders turn the football over.
Well, you can see how hard it is raining now here at Giant Stadium. Ron Dixon and Emmanuel McDaniel are deep for the kickoff, which is not very deep at all. And from the 16-yard line, it's Dixon. Dixon to the 30. Penalty marker flies, and he goes down at the 32. And this is going to go against the Giants.
The Giants got to start rooting for Janikowski to kick it in the end zone so they don't have a foul and get it to the 20-yard line.
Holding 59 on the return team during the run back. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Let's go down to Armin.
Greg, I asked John Gruden what his message was to the team for the second half. He said, hey, you're playing the NFC champions. They're going to play their heart out. He said, also, if you got to think about things, just think about 3 weeks ago when they were playing the Cowboys and they came back and win 27-24 in the second half. Back to you.
All right, Armin, one thing you know, and all the times that we've talked to John Gruden over the years, he will always have a message.
That's right.
Rain begins to come down a little harder. First down for the Giants as Colin calls signals and the pitch for Tiki Barber. And Barber can't make the turn. He's tracked down by William Thomas on the far side. There was some question as to whether or not William Thomas would even be here, let alone play today. His brother died tragically down in Texas, and he didn't make the trip out here with the team, only flew in this morning. And our best wishes go out to William Thomas and his family. 2nd and 10. Collins under the gun and goes down. And that's William Thomas in on the quarterback.
A pretty simple blitz by the Oakland Raiders. William Thomas, number 59, just comes up in there. Greg Camella misses him. Ron Dane misses him. And Gary Collins, used to the pressure, goes down for the sack.
And you see Thomas going off to the side. Glenn Parker has an injured hip. His return is questionable, and Jason Whittle, the third-year offensive lineman out of Southwest Missouri, is in place of him. 3rd and 17. Collins steps up, throws far side, and that's complete to Amani Toomer, and Toomer had enough for the first down.
Wow, what a throw.
I was about to say, that's a heck of a throw anyway, particularly in the pouring rain.
Sideline, in the rain, tight coverage, and Kerry Collins just sticks it into Amani Toomer. I have seen Kerry Collins over the years. I'll never forget when he was at the Carolina. They were playing in Green Bay in the championship game. It was really cold, extremely windy, and he threw the football down the field. I'll never forget it. Threw the football extraordinarily well that day.
Collins to throw again. Over the middle, incomplete. Toomer got a hand on it.
Darrell Russell on the hit, taking Kerry Collins to the ground. And Greg, you go back. The Giants offense, you talk about it struggling. You talk about a quarterback who fumbles. Yes, some of it is his fault. But again, another hit, going to the ground. How do you as a quarterback continually trust what's happening up front when you're getting hit in all these situations?
On 2nd and 10. Barber to the 40. Across the 45 to the 47-yard line, and a first down for the Giants. 15-yard pickup.
That's what you do with the Giants offense. Sean Payton calling the plays. You'd want to throw the football because you know you got to score points to get back in this, but you sprinkle in some runs to keep the defense honest, and the Raiders playing pass, get caught. Tiki Barber makes a nice run.
You saw William Thomas go off to the side. He is back onto the field. And so is Glenn Parker on the line now for the Giants. On first down, Barber. Oh, no, it's Ron Dane. Excuse me. And Dane still on his feet and diving for the first down marker, and he has a Giants first down.
Well, every time Ron Dane comes into the game and they hand him the ball, it seems like there's just no running holes for him to go into. But this time, good job. Glenn Parker, nice kick-out block. And Ron Dane makes the first guy miss, avoids the second tackle. And you can tell on that run alone shows you and shows me that Ron Dane, the fact that he lost some weight during the offseason, a little quicker and a little faster.
Barber back into the lineup. Penalty markers fly. The pass to Camella out of the backfield, and Camella out of bounds at the 35-yard line. And this was an offside against the Raiders.
What do you take, 1st and 5 or 2nd and 2?
I'd take 2nd and 2. But what would you take?
I would take 2nd and 2, too.
Offside, defense, number 91. That penalty is declined. 2nd down.
I would say you were head coach material, Greg, but
that was fairly easy.
That might be stressing it just a little too much. Reagan Upshaw having success against Lomas Brown. He knows the Giants are down, and he is trying to take advantage of the situation, getting to the quarterback.
Line of scrimmage, the 35-yard line. Ron Dane in the backfield on 2nd and 2. Collins had to fall on the loose ball. And Camella trying to protect his quarterback a little bit. Interesting conversation with John Ritchie. He and Greg Camella go back a ways.
Both of them were teammates at Stanford. they actually switched games. Who's going to start? Camelo would start one week. John Ritchie would start the following week.
I'll tell you, a conversation with John Ritchie is in and of itself an adventure. 3rd and 4. Straight drop for Collins. Running out of time. Throws over the middle. Incomplete. Juravicius, the intended receiver.
Well, I could swear Kerry Collins gives the hard count, and the Raider defensive line jumps off sides. I was right. Reagan Upshaw, 91, was absolutely in the neutral zone, and Kerry Collins, not a hard hit, but again goes to the ground.
And on 4th and 4, the Giants are going to go for it.
Defensive lineman in the neutral zone. It happens all the time. It's not called enough.
Collins with time. Throws. Incomplete. Ike Hilliard wants the penalty flag thrown on Eric Allen, and there is no flag.
Good pass protection for Kerry Collins. But as you look down the field, I did not see a receiver come open. No penalty.
A look at Kerry Collins on the sideline.
Well, the Giants offense had a little sense of urgency watching that drive. They did some good things. We'll see how the defense reacts to what they did at halftime. And they're coming.
Boy, are they coming. Just ahead of the snap, but they're coming. Kenny Holmes was in around the right side.
Offside, 90. Defense unabated to the quarterback. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Be a 1st and 5 for the Raiders. Read NFL.com for in-depth analysis from Marv Levy, Vic Carucci, and Phil Simms. Get the inside scoop all week long on NFL.com or your AOL keyword NFL.com. On a 1st and 5 now. Here's Garner. And Garner tripped up, hit hard in the backfield. Number 53, Brandon Short, the linebacker.
Well, we had one penalty and one play, Greg, and I think we've answered that question. Look at the Giants' penetration, the number of players near the line of scrimmage. They are going to challenge the Oakland Raiders offense here in the second half.
That's Sam Garnes. He's the deep man in the secondary on 2nd and 7. Gannon throws out here. Garner. His man slipped. He's run out of bounds just short of the 50-yard line. Sean Williams came out with him and slid down as the pass was delivered.
Yeah, most of the time when a running back or an offense in the National Football League sends its back in motion to get out near a wide receiver position, it's just window dressing. They don't want to throw it to him, but with Charlie Garner, the Raiders, they do it. Not only does he go out and catch the short passes, Greg, we've seen him go down the field for long ones. We've seen him run routes to the inside. Gannon throw it to him, and he does. He catches the football like a wide receiver.
Garner gets a breather. Wheatley replaces him in the backfield on 1st down. And Wheatley finds running room across midfield and pushes his way to the 46-yard line of the Giants. 6-yard pickup, and it's 2nd and 4.
Nice job by Tyrone Wheatley. When you have a big offensive line, which the Raiders do, then you put a big running back in there, and if you just move the defenders a little bit, he is going to push it up there for an extra yard or two. And Michael Strahan just gets butt blocked by Lincoln Kennedy. And that's one of the reasons why we haven't talked a lot about Michael Strahan today. Lincoln Kennedy is so big, Michael Strahan can overpower most tackles. You cannot overpower Lincoln Kennedy.
Wheatley tries the left side, and there's not much there. Lincoln Kennedy is listed at 6'6", 335.
Now, Michael Strahan, he probably goes about 280 pounds. He's fast and he's strong. But when you're hitting a guy of this size, it doesn't have the same effect as it does against most tackles in this league. And Jim Fossil told us, he says the change in Michael Strahan is that now he has a speed, of course. He's running over blockers, and that's how he's getting most of his sacks. Well, that's not going to work today.
Raiders go with a double tight end on 3rd and 2. Gannon rolling, looking, running out of time. Now escapes the tackler and throws incomplete. You hear the word elusive attached to Rich Gannon all the time, and there's a perfect example.
Well, even Rich Gannon's like, hey, how did I get out of that? Because Michael Strahan, it's a play action pass. He's blocked by the running back. Has Rich Gannon. Now, you know, some people think Rich Gannon is an undersized quarterback. Well, he's about 6'3", about 225 pounds, and I don't think that's undersized.
Gannon has not been sacked today. Tiki Barber is waiting for the punt from Shane Leckler. Leckler bounces it into the end zone, and it'll come out to the 20-yard line. We have 8:06 to play in the 3rd quarter. Raiders still lead at 21-3. Here at the Meadowlands, the Raiders are in town. It has been much what you would expect. Hard running and terrific plays on offense, led by Charlie Garner. John Gruden is pleased with the way his team has come up big against the New York Giants so far. 8:06 to play here in the 3rd quarter, and the Raiders lead it by a score of 21-3, along with Phil Simms and Armin Kate and Greg Gumbel at Giant Stadium. And a 1st and 10 for the Giants from the 20-yard line. Play fake to Barber. Collins throws this side and underthrows Amani Toomer. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Kerry Collins needs about a half a second more so he could really get his feet up underneath him so he could throw the football down the field. That time, pressure coming from the outside again. He didn't step up quick enough, and it makes him throw the football short of his target.
Now, the last 3 possessions, the Giants have shown that they can move the football. They have done it. They just haven't been able to finish. 2nd and 10. Here comes the blitz, but the pitch is to Barber. Barber coming to the near side. Turns the corner. 25 and reaches the 1st down marker at the 30-yard line. William Thomas ran him out of the bounds, and we'll check back in with Jim Nantz in New York.
All right, the Ravens looking awful strong here today, Greg. Brookins, 71 yards on the ground and 2 short touchdown runs. 17-0 Baltimore. Jacksonville has only 76 total yards. Let's go back to you.
Baltimore's Ravens on the road in a pretty impressive performance, considering they're missing some pretty key players. Have the Jacksonville Jaguars shut out. Giants 1st down now at the 32. Dane is in the backfield. Play fake is to him, and the throw to the far side. Incomplete. Hilliard, the intended receiver, and Charles Woodson right there with him.
Well, I know this. I don't know if I could take Tiki Barber out of the game, because so far he has shown that he is the only Giant offensive player who can really is a threat. They can give his team a chance to make the big play.
Tiki Barber, 17 touches, 135 total yards, and Garner hasn't had a bad day himself as John Gruden checks his charts. 106 yards on the ground for Barber. Collins with time this time, throws this side. Juravicius slips and falls down at the 37-yard line.
Well, Joe Juravicius just puts too much effort into catching the football, but hey, it's understandable why. When you drop a couple passes, he comes underneath, he's open, Collins finds him. He works so hard at securing the catch that it stops him from getting any extra yards after the catch.
Unable to add to the yardage he had, the Giants look at a 3rd and 5. Had a tip, and it is complete at midfield. Juravicius pulled the tip down, and it's a 1st down.
A couple times today, Kerry Collins gets excellent protection. Nobody open down the field. Does not get it tipped. He throws it into the back of his own man. I think he hits Ron Stone in the shoulder pad.
You have to practice that one endlessly to get it right. First down for the Giants at midfield. Collins going to go deep down this side. And Toomer. Did Toomer pull it inbounds? The officials say no.
He's looking for help because of slip. He's not completely sure. Let's take a look at the replay. Amani Toomer to the outside.
Oh, feel a challenge coming on, Phil?
Well, maybe, but I don't know if he had possession of it before his left foot gets down in play. It's a big play, so Jim Fossil. Watch Toomer.
Are challenging the ruling on the field.
This is a 30-yard pickup if it's good. Terrific pass by Kerry Collins. Amani Toomer didn't turn to look for the ball until that ball was more than halfway to him.
Well, I think the question will be, does Amani Toomer have possession of the football before he goes out of bounds? And you hear it, the fans, you've seen so many of these replays, you know the rules. His feet go down. He drags them both.
You know, that angle there, Phil, shows that he is dragging his foot along the ground.
That's not the question. The question is, did he have possession the whole time?
I'm going to say yes. How about that? 5:50 to play here in the third quarter, and the rain continues to fall.
Well, I'm going to wait and look at it one more time before I make a decision.
This will be your fifth look at it?
Yeah, hey, look, I didn't say I was a quick study at anything. But here it goes. Watch. Does Amani Toomer? Now watch the ball. It's moving. He has possession, but that left foot, was it out of bounds, Craig? That's going to be the deciding factor.
Well,
before he totally gets possession of the football.
That back angle shows that he dragged his foot all the way out of bounds.
I understand. Oh, great one. But listen to me. That's not, I don't doubt that he had his feet and he dragged them on the ground. The question is possession.
While we wait, you can be honest. I'll be honest too. How close did you come to saying he drug it?
Yeah, oh, you got it. No, I was going to say it, but you make so much fun of me, I changed my mind right there. I'm going to say they stick with the incomplete call.
Well, Bill Carollo will let us know in a moment.
After reviewing the play, it's been determined the receiver caught the ball, and his left foot is down inbounds for a catch. It'll be first down at the 21-yard line. New York.
That's a 30-yard pickup for the New York Giants to the Oakland 30-yard line.
And I'm just asking myself, so what was I looking at? But here we go. Look at it one more time. No question the feet drag. Amani Toomer secures the football with his hands to his body.
And I beg your pardon, the line of scrimmage is the 21-yard line.
Well, the Giants, they need a big play to get something going. They have to almost now, they're getting in a situation where they almost have to score a touchdown.
Look at Collins' numbers here in the third quarter. On the ground, Tiki Barber. And Barber wrapped up at the line of scrimmage and pulled back by Rod Coleman and Greg Beaker. Giants with 14 first downs today to 12 for the Oakland Raiders.
The Oakland Raider defense, the one thing they are doing extremely well at today, the corners are running everywhere with the wide receivers. No separation as far as getting open. Amani Toomer just makes a nice catch on the sideline to get something down the field to the Giant receivers.
On 2nd and 9. Collins throws out the far side. That's complete. Dan Campbell, the tight end. The ball is down. Ball was whistled down at about the 12-yard line.
Again, watch Kerry Collins looking down the field. He's actually going to fall back a little off balance and just flicks it out here to Campbell. Perfect throw. You know, Kerry Collins is one of those quarterbacks. Jim Fossil, we talked to him. He says, I don't know, when quarterbacks have the ability and are very good at throwing off balance, I don't think he's ever going to learn to stand in there and get his feet under the throw.
On 3rd and 2, C.P. Barber runs and he looks for the first down inside the 10 to the 5, touchdown. On the dance through the Raider defense. Morton Anderson looking to move ahead of George Blanda to claim number 2 all-time scoring, and he does with point number 2004. More importantly for the Giants, Tiki Barber's run pulls them to within 21-10. 4:10 to play in the 3rd.
Watch the block by Howard Cross as he drives the defender down. Glenn Parker pulling across with Greg Camilla. 2 perfect kick-out blocks. And then when you need a big run to score, Amani Toomer, 81, gets the secondary, Charles Woodson, and that's how you get a touchdown. Big run plays almost always involve wide receivers making good blocks down the field.
New York Giants 9-play drive. A key element, the challenge that stood up for the Giants. Anderson kicks. Terry Kirby from the 12. Ball forward to the 25-yard line. 4 minutes and 1 second remaining. The Giants are involved, and so are the fans. We'll be right back.
NFL on CBS is sponsored by Burger King, home of the Whopper, and by MasterCard. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard.
It's a more involved crowd here at Giant Stadium after the Tiki Barber touchdown. 4:01 to play in the 3rd. First down for the Raiders at their own 30-yard line. Gannon throws over the middle and underthrew Jerry Rice, incomplete. Boy, there's that great instinct by Rich Gannon with the pursuer up his back. He just got rid of it.
He knew it, and it's the one thing, if you're the Giants and you're not going to chase receivers across the field, then you better keep defensive linemen in front of Rich Gannon. Because if he had just a half a second more, it's going to be a huge gain for the Raiders offense.
Charlie Garner, running room on the left side, cuts it back 35 to about the 36-yard line. Mike Barrow, Jason Sehorn with the stop after a gain of 6, and it'll be 3rd and 4.
Well, you got the crowd back into it if you're for the Giants. You got some rain, a little bit of wind. It's about as difficult as you can make it for the Raider offense.
3rd and 4. Gannon going to throw. And a tip. Gannon has the football and slides down at the 34-yard line.
Boy, a couple things. That time the Giants finally kept somebody in the middle of the field so Rich Gannon couldn't move up and throw short passes if he wants to. Michael Strahan keeps hustling, knocks it out of Rich Gannon's hand, and how about that? Right back to the quarterback. Shane Leckler.
to kick away to Tiki Barber. Good snap. Barber from the 18. Falls down and is down to the 23-yard line. 2:21 to play in the third quarter, and John Fox is all thumbs up for the Giants right now. Time for our NFL.com interactive poll for today. Who is the best Smith in 2001? Log on and cast your vote at NFL.com. First down for the Giants. The rain continues to fall. They give this to Barber, and Barber getting very little. Just over the 25-yard line. Grady Jackson, Greg Biekert with the stop. There's Michael Strahan, and on that pass that was tipped and grabbed by Rich Gannon, Strahan officially got a sack on that play, and that is his league-leading and career-high 16th of the season.
Yeah, you know, Michael Strahan, what he told us yesterday, he says, you know, sometimes you just got to be fortunate with these sacks. It's, you know, every once in a while you get about 4 or 5 a year that are just luck. Not, that one was not luck. He caused it.
Collins throws it out here. That's complete to Camella, and Camella out of bounds at the 35-yard line, first down.
Giants got a real nice mixture so far here in the second half. Still trying to run the football, but they're into throwing it, just trying to deceive the defense. It's a blitz by the Raiders, and the quick fake by Kerry Collins is just enough to let Greg Camella come out of the backfield and be wide open. Marquez Pope came on a blitz, untouched. Collins saw him and got rid of the football quickly.
The ball just across the 35-yard line. Giants rolling up yardage here in the third quarter. The pitch for Barber. Looks for a block. Cuts back inside. And picks up a couple. Clock continues to move. We have 1 minute to play here in the third quarter.
Well, Greg, you said it earlier. The Giants have kind of made a few mistakes to stop some drives, and if you're a Raider fan, you got to be concerned about the defense getting run on again. And now when it's crunch time, when you do have the Giants in a certain situation, they're not getting to the quarterback like they did in the first half either.
Rain continues to fall. Barber. This time, Barber wrapped up just as he hit the line by William Thomas, who has played a whale of a game today. It'll be 3rd and 7. And I doubt we will get another playoff here in the third quarter. It'll be a matter of Kerry Collins and the Giants turning around to go with the rain rather than against the rain.
Which way is the rain coming? That's what I want to know.
That's the end of the third quarter with our score. Oakland 21 and the Giants 10. We'll come back after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Although the Giants only registered 7 points in the third quarter, we saw a complete and total turnaround. The Giants registering 140 yards in that third quarter to Oakland's 19. And a 3rd and 7. Collins throws incomplete, intended for Toomer.
Looked like a good throw from Kerry Collins. Amani Toomer just cannot come up with the catch. He's covered by number 20, Torrey James. It just goes right through, yes.
Collins wanted a call that wasn't coming, and David Dunn is deep to receive the punt from Rodney Williams. Rodney Williams, again, with that fractured wrist, taped, has done an amazing job of handling the football. As I say that, he lost the handle and then gets off a booming punt inside the 5 and through the end zone. Has to cradle that ball. You see him protect the right hand. He got it away. Tonight on CBS, Thomas Kincaid has sold more paintings than most of the great artists combined. That's why he's on 60 Minutes. And then Oscar winner Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan star in the blockbuster comedy You've Got Mail tonight on CBS. And incidentally, those of you on the West Coast will see that movie at 8:30 p.m. Rain continues to fall as Gannon brings the Raiders to the line. First down at their own 20-yard line. To Garner. Garner tries the right side and not much doing there. Gain of a yard. We're looking at the rain falling, Phil, and as a veteran of many a game played in this stadium, is it tough to play in this stuff?
You know, Greg, it's not near as bad as everybody thinks it is. They do such a good job of keeping the footballs dry. Hey, besides the quarterback and the receivers, the rest of these guys like it. You know, they love the rain and how it feels, and they don't care. But for the quarterbacks and the receivers, it is not that bad.
Second and 9. Gannon. Ball is tipped at the line of scrimmage and falls incomplete. Lance Legree, the rookie out of Notre Dame, starting today in place of Keith Hamilton, got a hand on it.
Now the Raiders just trying to find a way to get a first down, take some time off, and take some of this momentum away from the Giants. Cannot get it done. Lance Legree, good job. Can't get to the quarterback. Raise your hand up and try to knock it down.
Now the Raiders look at a 3rd and 9. The fans looking at the opportunity for the Giants to get the football back. Blitz. Gannon throws over the middle, incomplete. Sehorn was there on Jerry Porter.
What a change for the Giants defense. John Fox is probably over there going, we should have done more of this in the first half. Good timing on the blitz. Look at everybody coming. Rich Gannon just has to get rid of it. Nobody open down the field. Oh, Jesse Armstead almost knocks it down too.
Gannon 0 for his last 4, throwing the football. Tiki Barber deep for the punt. And Leckler booms it out of there. Barber takes a peek at the oncoming players, gets a great block and runs out of bounds, and then he's hit hard out of bounds, and the Giants want a flag. There is no flag.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Heineken. It's all about the beer. Heineken. Nextel, how business gets done. And by the all-new 200 horsepower Acura RSX Type S.
Well, just as we went to commercial, we had a personal foul for a late hit.
Number 84, Jerry Porter. Tiki Barber definitely out of bounds with the late hit. Omar Stoutmire, look at that shot. Nice block. Good job by the officials making sure that they had a little conference just to make sure they both saw the same thing, and they were right. Jerry Porter delivered a late hit.
And thanks to the penalty march-off, this marks the first time today at 13:50 of the 4th quarter that either team starts in the other guy's territory. We'll remind you, next Saturday, it's all guts, all grit, all glory, the ultimate celebration of pride, tradition, and the American spirit. The cadets and the midshipmen, the Army-Navy game live from Philadelphia here on CBS Sports. It all begins with Tim Brando and Spencer Tillman on College Football Today.
Well, usually in a situation like this where the Giants are, you're behind, you get a big break, you get the football in the Oakland Raider territory, you pull out a couple of those plays that you haven't shown yet to go for a big strike right here. So my guess would be the Giants play action are going to look down the field to try to either score or pick up a lot of yards.
Line of scrimmage, the 37-yard line. Ron Dane in the backfield. Collins throws this side. Nice grab by Camella. Slides out of bounds inside the 35-yard line. Pickup of 3, 2nd and 7.
I had it all right except the long pass.
Raiders 21, Giants 10. John Gruden saw his team grab all of the momentum in the first half, and you'd have to say the second half the momentum has belonged to the New York Giants.
Oh, on both sides of the ball. Here's the thing, can the Giants take advantage of this right now?
That's Greg Camella being looked at on the far side of the field. The pitch for Barber. And Barber down at the 35-yard line. Beekert and Grady Jackson closed on number 21. And that's Camella on the far side of the field.
Yeah, after he caught that last pass. Couldn't tell what happened to him. Well,
they have a hold of and rubbing his left arm and left shoulder. We get word we'll pass it along to you. Meanwhile, the Giants are looking at a 3rd and 8. On the blitz, Collins tried to get it away. It's an incomplete pass. William Thomas again, that time on the blitz, and the pass is incomplete.
Well, Greg, you talked about it earlier. William Thomas, his brother, passed away. He just flew in for the game this week. So emotional, and he's showing it on the field. Again, gets to Kerry Collins, almost causes the fumble. What a game. 10 tackles, has a sack. Forced the incompletion by Kerry Collins that time. The Giants are going to go for it on 4th down.
4th and 8. Collins needs to reach the 27-yard line. No blitz here. Collins pumps first, has a man wide open, and it's tipped away. Torrey James got back to deflect the pass away from Jurevicius.
Kerry Collins had him. The rain, the ball slipped out of his hand just enough to let it hang in the air for Torrey James to knock it down.
Back at Giant Stadium, Raider ball at the 35-yard line. Rain falling harder now. The pitch for Garner. Garner cuts back to about the 37 or 38-yard line. Let's go back to that tipped pass for the incompletion.
Well, let's watch it. The pump fake. Torrey James is down here. He gets caught up. Joe Jurevicius trying to sneak behind him. Because the ball slipped a little bit from Kerry Collins, it allows Torrey James to get back and knock it down. I saw him on the sideline, Greg. I was reading his lips. He goes, "Oh, I saw it all the way." And we laughed. I said, "No, he didn't." He saw it, but if Kerry Collins would have thrown that ball and had a perfect spar on it, it would have got over him for a big game.
2nd and 7. Gannon throws up the middle, wide open. Tim Brown. Brown to the 30, dragged down at the 22-yard line. Sean Williams saved the touchdown.
This is the same play that you saw Rich Gannon throw earlier for the touchdown, except this time he's going to make the fake to Jerry Rice. Tim Brown's going to go right down the middle. Look at it. The fake moved the safety over again, and look at the hole that Tim Brown has to run in. What's the fake by Rich Gannon? Just a little bit. Creates more space for Tim Brown, and nobody near him as he makes the catch.
Brown, 5 catches for 98 yards and a touchdown. The give is to Garner, and Garner tripped up at the line of scrimmage by Brandon Short.
Now the Giants, if you saw that, they have a safety in the middle of the field, and Rich Gannon makes the fake one way to move that safety so he can throw to the other side. Now the Giants usually have 2 safeties deep, so that play would never work. But since the Giants trying to get up, create a little pressure, more people towards the line of scrimmage, they have to put one safety, and he's back in the middle of the field.
And what a huge swing in momentum that pass play to Tim Brown created. Play fake. Gannon to the far side, and that's complete to the tight end, Roland Williams. Sam Garnes made the stop. It's only a 1-yard pickup, and it's 3rd and 7.
The Look at Rich Gannon, 12 of 19, 202. This guy is a stat machine. Every single week he comes out, he puts up good numbers. And we've told you many times, the offense, it's very complicated for the Raiders. A lot of formations, a lot of shifting, and a lot of plays because a veteran quarterback with really the whole offense, all of them are veterans, able to gain the knowledge each week to run this offense.
3rd and 7, Gannon throwing toward the end zone. It is caught for touchdown. Tim Brown. Rich Gannon threw it sidearm.
No, he did not. He threw it underhanded almost.
19 yards.
But just a good job, Rich Gannon, throwing the football down the field against Will Allen. Tim Brown, another little fake to the outside, turns it up. Will Allen never able to turn around and find the football. Tim Brown adjusts for an easy touchdown.
Janikowski for the point after. And it's good. In the pouring rain, Tim Brown pulls in another touchdown pass. 28-10, Oakland.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the Civic from Honda, with more fun per gallon. And by Staples. Staples has everything you need for your business at great low prices.
Ron Dixon stands in the rain. In fact, they're all standing in the rain as it comes down. 9:34 to play here in the 4th quarter.
How quick does it turn around, Greg? Gary Collins has a chance to hit a big play to Joe Jaravicius. A couple plays later, the Raiders score.
McDaniel and Dixon. From the 6, McDaniel. And just across the 20, hit at the 22-yard line. Maybe the 23. 16-yard return. We remind you, the NFL on CBS regional action next Sunday. Phil, Armin, and I will be in Miami, where Brian Griese and the Broncos come in to meet the Miami Dolphins. And others will see the Patriots take on the AFC East leading Jets, or the Chargers and Seahawks hook up on the West Coast. Check your local listings, beginning with the NFL today. That's next Sunday here on CBS. So the Giants, now with 9:25 on the clock, have to see if they can regain momentum in something of a hurry. Collins with time from the shotgun over the middle, and Toomer makes the grab at the 40-yard line. And that'll be a quick first down. Phil, we were talking about that touchdown pass by Rich Gannon, and he threw it sidearm, almost submarine, and it looked like his shoulder hurt. Why did he do it?
Well, when we get a chance, Greg, maybe we'll go back and look at it. But it's a good way to secure the ball when there's bad weather. And Rich Gannon.
Tiki Barber out in the backfield. And he's at midfield, and he has another first down. Let's go back to that play.
Well, let's just watch it. And it helps Rich Gannon. He's so comfortable throwing the football from a lot of different angles. But if the football's a little wet, and as a quarterback, if you dropped sidearm, just think about it. It lays on your hand. There's less chance of you throwing a bad football that way.
Can you say shot put?
No, it's not a shot put. He's a very good, one of the best I've ever seen him throwing the ball sidearm. Just
a little bit high for Toomer. It falls incomplete. Stop clock is stopped with 8:29 to play.
And I said, you know, Greg, the rain, it's not that big of a deal, but when it comes down like this, it becomes a big deal. So it has changed. It is pouring right now. And boy, Rich Gannon again. The numbers, 20 throws, the productivity, 3 touchdowns out of 20 throws, and it seemed like every completion was just huge as far as what they were trying to accomplish.
Collins going to go deep, and it is overthrown, incomplete, intended for Amani Toomer. Eric Allen with the coverage down the sideline, and let's check in with Jim Nantz in New York.
Okay, Greg, it was 17-0 Baltimore, but back come the Jags as Brunell to Jimmy Smith. He'll find his way to the end zone, 17-14 with 8:16 to go in Jacksonville. Let's go back to Greg and Phil.
It has not been a sparkling season in Jacksonville, but those Jaguars have been in an awful lot of games this season.
Every game they have been in. They have played almost every single game this year down to the wire.
with time, throws this side, and that is caught, incomplete.
Good job, Chief.
Ron Dixon on the receiving end, and Torrey James was covering.
Well, not only is it raining, your footing's bad. Take a look at this if it's coming at you.
Since late in the second quarter, the Raiders have had just 3 first downs, but all of them on big plays by Tim Brown. A 46-yard touchdown in the second quarter, a 40-yard reception on the last drive, and the 19-yard touchdown catch. And Brown with the fair catch made at the 19-yard line.
Well, the one thing, or the one complaint you hear about the Raiders is not enough big plays in the passing game. But today we have seen a couple of them. Tim Brown making them all. There's his last touchdown.
And you know, if you're the defensive coordinator, who do you cover? Who do you concentrate on? A week ago, it was Jerry Rice with 3 TD catches.
Well, the Giants, their defense, it's kind of the story of their season when they've lost games. They play real well, but then they have a little mistake, or they give up a big play that just turns out to be so crucial, and they've given up a couple big ones here today. But mainly, it's not them. I think it's been tremendous execution and design by the Raiders offense.
Zach Crockett straight ahead and goes head over heels at about the 22-yard line. Best defense the last 4 games, 100-yard receivers each of the last 3 weeks, and you can add Tim Brown to that category this week.
Well, last week Jerry Rice was the star receiver for the Raiders. This week it's Tim Brown, and every week it's Rich Gannon playing another solid football game. And you know, you can't say enough about him. People want to know, is Rich Gannon, is he a star in this league? Is he one of the top quarterbacks? Is that label over? And absolutely, it's been over for a long time.
Crockett across the 25 to the 27, and talking with John Gruden. And you know, it's funny to those who are not aware, but it made perfect sense to you. John Gruden saying, boy, there are times we get after each other and we yell names at each other back and forth, and it's the norm.
And it's some rough name calling they have. And I said to John Gruden, I said, is Rich Gannon, is he kind of high maintenance? And what did he say? He laughed. He goes, I need 10 hours of sleep the night before the game, because I know I got to deal with Rich Gannon. Because he has a way. If something goes right in the field, he says Gannon walks behind him and kind of yells it into his ear and then walks on. And Gruden says, I just take it and we move on.
3rd and 2. And Crockett didn't get it.
What did John Gruden say? He says to Rich Gannon, he goes, oh, yeah, you're right, Rich. You're right. Yes, you're right. Okay, just go along. You're right.
Well, I got a kick out of when you said they called each other names, and it's not you coach you and you quarterback. That's not exactly what's going on down there.
But they both have the same type of personality. They both want to be successful. They're extremely hard-working. Rich Gannon gets to the complex 6 o'clock in the morning. The only guy there is John Gruden. And
at the end of that whole conversation last night, what did John Gruden say? I love it. I love him.
Oh, he likes the friction. He does like the friction he has with his quarterback. It's a good example for the rest of the team, but they're going to work hard, and they expect you to do the same.
Tiki Barber lets it bounce. It's going to roll inside the 25-yard line up to about the 23, and that's where it's blown dead. Look what's coming up Monday on CBS. For years, Carol Burnett has made us laugh. Now she'll join Harvey, Tim, and Vicky for a brand new special with never-before-seen outtakes and plenty of surprises. Don't miss the Carol Burnett Show, Showstopper, on CBS. Laugh your head off Monday. We have a penalty marker on the play, and we're going to come back and do this all over again. Illegal motion is the call against the Raiders, so the Giants will have them kick it again.
Well, the Raiders have come east. We've done both of their games, and they've come up here in the Northeast, Greg. They played the Philadelphia Eagles. They just completely dominated the Eagles, and today wasn't. They're winning the game and they're dominating. The Giants had a couple chances there in the third quarter to get back in and make it close. They could not do that.
5:46 to play, and there are some Raider faithful cheering behind the bench here.
Look at all the Raider fans. I'd say there's a couple thousand easy of Raider fans here in the stadium today. And Giant Stadium, yeah, that's not Kenny Stabler. But Giant Stadium, of course, is all season ticket holders.
Leckler, oh, what a kick. Barber all the way back to his 15-yard line. And is tripped up right at the 15 by Brandon Jennings. Terrific special teams tackle by Brandon Jennings and a 64-yard punt by Shane Leckler.
Nice adjustment. Thought Tiki Barber was going to go outside. He tried to cut it back. Still made the play. The good news for the Giants is going to be, even though they're going to be 5-6, the Philadelphia Eagles lost today. And
how about those Washington Redskins?
Well, the Redskins are back in the race, but we still hope that you can win the division.
Collins from the shotgun on 1st and 10. Intended for Ron Dixon, and that's incomplete. Torrey James was there to break that up. Chuck Bresnahan on the far side. Well, not unlike everybody else out there. They're just absolutely drenched. And by the way, is Armin swimming?
You know, I want to say this about Armin. You know, you got to have a game plan, and you got to be able to adjust. But our man Armin did not bring a raincoat today.
Collins goes down at the 5. Reagan Upshaw, Charles Woodson. And there is Reagan Upshaw doing a little celebrating, as he told us he hoped he would.
Well, this is awfully tough for the Giants. They're sending all the receivers deep down the field. It's a blitz. Lomas Brown having a tough time with Reagan Upshaw, and Kerry Collins holding the football that long. It results in a sack.
Reagan Upshaw telling us he loves the game and he loves to pass rush. And we said, pass rush? And he said, well, I don't love the run. I need to love the run a little bit more.
Yes, I would think this Raider defense needs to love working against the run a lot more.
2 sacks today for Upshaw. And Collins throws it away as he ran out of time in his own end zone.
Boy, it's so tough. I'm watching this. I have a great view. I can see all the receivers. And in the rain, you know they're going to rush the passer. And the Giants are just sending everybody so deep down the field, it's making it impossible for Kerry Collins.
There is Armin. Another quarter to play, and Armin would be collecting animals 2 by 2 down there. Rodney Williams from his own end zone. Corrals the football. David Dunn says, let this one bounce. This one won't reach midfield. Comes to a stop just across the 45-yard line. 4:35 to play in the 4th.
Yeah. Okay. Right now, and wonderful.
Trying to save a little time this holiday season? Then come to Best Buy, where you'll find something fun for everyone on your list, all in one place. Best Buy, this holiday, turn on the fun.
4:35 to play, and the Raiders in good field position. Reagan Upshaw staying loose in the rain. Zach Crockett straight ahead across the 40 to the 37-yard line. You know, this is an Oakland Raider team that went to the AFC Championship game a season ago, and they go out and they add a Jerry Rice, who came into this game today with 44 catches for 577 yards and 6 touchdowns. He's added 3 more catches today for another 65 yards. I'd say he's fit in rather nicely.
I think he has. Look at their additions this year. Just 2 to start with. Jerry Rice and Charlie Garner. How important have both of them been to this team? And one that a lot of people have forgotten about, Trace Armstrong. before he blew out his Achilles tendon, was doing a really good job at rushing the passer for the Raiders.
Crockett on 2nd and 2, diving, and appears to have enough for the first down.
There's Trace Armstrong, made the trip. That was a big loss for them, because he is a premier pass rusher. Had a tremendous year last year for the Miami Dolphins. But you know, before we start seeing all these great things about the Raiders, Greg, it's a big deal. It's a really big deal when your defense struggles in the running game, which they did. They have, and they did again today.
First down, clock continues to move, coming up on 3 minutes, and straight ahead, Crockett. And they, of course, bank on that big catalog of running backs that they have in Oakland.
Yeah, you know, but let me go back to that running game, or the run defense, because this Raider offense is so potent and does so well, and it's been consistent, but it kind of gets overlooked. Sometimes some of your weaknesses get overlooked. But there's going to be a game or two, and you hope it's not in the playoffs, when the offense doesn't click. Then what are you going to rely on? Boy, John Ritchie, he is, whoa. I said, John, can't you get another helmet that would fit differently and not do this? And
I think he kind of likes it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Left side, and Crockett hit hard and bounced back by Mike Barrow.
Well, John Ritchie said, you know, he goes, I've tried everything. I just cannot find a way. But look at him being the lead blocker. When you talk about fullbacks in the NFL, oh, nice block by John Ritchie against Jesse Armstead. He is truly one of the few that is a terrific lead blocker that allows his running back to get a lot of yards.
One of the few true blocking backs in the NFL. 2 minutes to play here at Giant Stadium. Our score with 2 minutes to play, the Raiders 28 and the Giants 10. Those of you expecting to see 60 Minutes, you're watching the NFL on CBS. Greg Gumbel, Phil Simms, Armin Katayan. 60 Minutes will be seen immediately following this game, except on the West Coast. Third and 9 with 2 minutes to play. Right side, Crockett. And it'll be 4th down. You know, we were just in Dallas on Thursday.
Yep.
And it's real easy for us, Phil, to hop a flight and move from one place to another. But we have to give a special thanks to the guys who drive our trucks from site to site. Not all guys. Bob Ross, Patsy Carbonara, Denny Weber, and Terry Genzel. They made the 36-hour drive from Dallas after the Thanksgiving game so that we could bring you today's coverage from Giant Stadium. Troopers. Troopers.
They are, and the rest of our crew, Greg, that spent this whole week on the road with us. All the cameramen, the tape recorders, graphics people.
Crockett carries on 4th down just across the 30-yard line, and the ball will go over to the Giants with 1:10 to play.
Not an easy week for all the guys this week, because Thanksgiving they have to all spend it on the road with us. You and I, with us. That's right. We had a good Thanksgiving Day dinner though this past Wednesday night.
And we are deeply appreciative of all of their efforts as usual. John Gruden, that look on his face tells you it's going to be one happy flight back to Oakland.
It is a wonderful high in the National Football League when you win the game. The bad part of it is you wake up tomorrow and you go, oh my gosh, we got to play again. And how are we ever going to beat that next opponent? It is short-lived, but it is truly a great experience.
Ron Dane up the middle to about the 37-yard line, and the clock continues to move, and no one has any desire to stop the clock at this point.
And the big thing and the good thing for the New York Giants, they do show that they have some players out there that can get it done. The Philadelphia Eagles lost today, and that's what Jim Foss is going to hang his hat on. The guys, all right, forget all this other. We can still win our division. They get to play the Eagles. I think it's the last game of the year down in Philadelphia, and if the Giants should just get on a little run, win a few games, that game could be for the division title.
Meanwhile, the Oakland Raiders will improve to 8-2 on the year. And that likely will be the final play here on a wet Sunday afternoon here at the Meadowlands. The Oakland Raiders come in. It wasn't easy in the second half, but they held on and dispatched the New York Giants to move to 8-2, while the Giants fall to 5-6 on the season. So that'll do it from the Meadowlands. For Phil Simms and Armin Katayan, Greg Gumbel saying so long from East Rutherford. Our final score, the Raiders 28 and the Giants 10. Right now, we take you to Jim Nantz and Company in New York for the NFL Today. And this reminder, you're watching the NFL on CBS.
All right, welcome back to our NFL Today studio. So the Raiders now 3-0 this year against the NFC. What a performance again by Rich Gannon, 221 yards, 3 touchdown passes, 2 of them to Tim Brown.
You spoke earlier, Jim, about that game when Raiders went back to Philadelphia and how they played against the Eagles. It was a repeat performance. The Raiders came east and physically dominated an NFC East team. This is all about running the ball. This is all about defense. John Gruden's got such a tight, physical football team.
What you probably won't read about is Tiki Barber. I was very impressed. I think this is as good as Tiki Barber's ever played. The Giants can still win their division, and Tiki Barber's got to have that football in his hands.
He ran for 124 yards, caught 5 more for 41. Reminder, 60 Minutes is coming up shortly right here on CBS.